What is social intelligence? Social intelligence is the ability to more effectively navigate social situations. Being more socially intelligent means being more empathetic. It means being a better communicator. That means talking in a way that's authentic to how you feel, in a way that elicits cooperation, but it also means actively listening, trying to actively understand what another person is saying. Being socially intelligent also means being aware to different social norms, unspoken rules, understanding how the world works, how different people interact with each other in an unspoken way. A key part of social intelligence is empathy. That means putting yourself into another person's shoes and seeing the world from their perspective. Being open-minded. In this video, I want to talk about the different components of social intelligence and what we can do and what people in the past have done to improve and develop this skill of social intelligence. I want to start by first talking about the concept of impression management. Impression management, or managing your impression, is managing the way people perceive you. When you meet a person for the first time, they will have an impression of you. A person you already know has an impression of you. The impression of you is the image of you they have in their mind, what they think of you. This can be a good thing or a bad thing. The image they have of you will dictate whether they show you respect or they don't show you respect, whether they listen to you or look over you. When Mahatma Gandhi first started his career as a lawyer, he was very scared. In fact, in one of his first cases, he left the courtroom completely. Now, if you're a person in that courtroom, especially if you're the client watching your lawyer walk out, probably doesn't leave you the best impression. But he walked out because he was scared. So he devised a system to improve his impressions, become more confident. He learned to systematically identify what triggered him and what worked. Gandhi kept a social interaction journal. In this journal, he documented all of his interactions, almost like an experiment. He tracked what his behavior was, what emotionally triggered him, how the other person would respond, and how he could change his behavior next time. Gandhi would often pause, take a step back, and notice his emotions and his body language at any particular moment. Another concept I want to talk about is understanding. Now, understanding is a very broad term, but let's simplify it. In order to understand, you first need to actively listen. Listen to what another person is saying. When I say actively listen, look engaged. Ask questions. You should ask questions in such a way that it elicits more conversation from the other person. Dale Carnegie, when he was younger, struggled with creating a business. He struggled in acting and struggled with keeping a steady job. He then switched over to sales, and when he was in sales, he would observe these salesmen. What he noticed was the most successful salesmen, the ones that made the most sales, were not the ones that tried to sell the product. They were the ones who listened. They were the ones who understood. Now, if you're talking to someone and they're trying to shove down an idea of what they think down your throat, it's not really going to work, right? But if they listen to what you want, what your pain points are, what you like, what you don't like, it's going to be a more enjoyable experience talking to them, right? And that's what Dale Carnegie started to do. He started to listen more. And he developed a few techniques to help with that engagement. The first technique is the 3-question rule. Before giving your opinion on a topic, make sure to ask 3 questions. Now, what this aims to do is get a better understanding of the person and their stance around this topic or their interests. Phrase the questions such that they're open-ended. And while they're talking, you can judge from their body language as well whether they like what they're talking about, what they don't like, right? You can also do this from words. You can pick out key details from what they're saying and gives you a better idea of how they might be as a person. You're now forming an impression of them in your mind. This is called story mining. Picking out key details, key pieces of information on who this person is. Avoid interrupting. Interrupting is almost an unnatural stop when someone's in the flow of expressing themselves. Now, when someone's expressing themselves, you want that. That's the sweet spot. Another key aspect of developing your social intelligence is developing your empathy. Your ability to put yourself in another person's shoes and see the world from their perspective. Henry Ford, when he first started this company, saw a 300% turnover rate. A lot of workers just left. They left because of poor work conditions, poor wages, so on and so forth. So what Ford did was he increased wages and improved workable conditions. Later on, when Edsel Ford came, he had a more personal management and leadership style. He improved on these conditions. What they found was, when you treat a person with more respect, when you take care of people, they're more likely to take care of you. Being empathetic is such a big component of that. Technique 1 is called life mapping. Putting yourself in the other person's shoes and asking yourself, how would I feel in this situation? Or what challenges I face on a day-to-day basis?